What's up, everybody? It's the Red Baron 59, and today I got for you 78 kills and momentum. It's a little bit older gameplay. I think we got this about I got it like 3 weeks ago or so. I think it was on the 20th of July. But it's a nice gameplay. I've kind of been holding this one in the bag, and I think in this one I'm using the AK-12 with extended quick draw and suppressor. Yeah, I have to be. It's one of my kind of preferred setups for this gun. I enjoy it quite a bit, and you'll just kind of see I could have done a lot better, but for whatever reason, about halfway through the match, I kind of just started going a little cold. And I don't know why that happened. Sometimes it just does. But I still dropped 78 kills. I think I had 16 deaths, which was an overall pretty fucking awesome gameplay. And today, I just kind of wanted to talk about my hopes for Black Ops 3. There's basically I've set a kind of goal for myself. What I want to try to do is during the time the beta is out, I really want to go for the nuclear. I think it's possible. It's going to be a challenge to accomplish for sure. But I think that with the fact that skill-based matchmaking is not going to be in the game, we'll just have to hope that the connection is going to be pretty solid during the beta, and it may very well be. There's definitely a chance that I could get a lobby that I could drop the nuclear in within a couple of days. I mean, I've got 5 days to do it, and I think that I can make it happen. I'm pretty excited to do so, and you'll see for whatever reason too, we start out just like I thought it was over. And they were going to camp out, and it just ended up not working out that way. They ended up getting the flag back, and we started going ham. But again, Black Ops 3, so there's been so many things related to Destiny shown in this game, and 402 Thunder kind of talked about it yesterday. One of my, I guess, issues with this game is I feel like in a lot of ways, on top of it having skill-based matchmaking, the game is far too chaotic. And I think that the same thing is going to be a prevalent issue in the next game, but I'm not going to prejudge the game. I just know it's going to be incredibly chaotic because you have special abilities that every single person on the game is going to have. Now, of course, you have to choose between the weapon, and you have to choose, but basically between your weapon and your special abilities. So, like, there's the glitch ability, which allows them to teleport back a couple seconds in time. I think it's 3 seconds backwards from where they were at. And there's also the minigun. There's apparently, alright, so and 402 Thunder made a really funny point about this. It's very true. So Blade Dancer is probably, if you've never played Destiny, Blade Dancer is essentially a special ability that when you use the Hunter class, there's the Golden Gun, which is the handgun that does one-shot kills. And that's in the game. And then as well, you have the Blade Dancer is the other option, where that character essentially turns into like a kind of juggernaut. He can be killed, but it's next to impossible, and that's one thing that a lot of people complain about. It's very, very difficult to kill somebody that uses the Blade Dancer, and they just run around, and all they do is hit R2 over and over, and it auto locks on and goes towards people. And so, like, if you're in a large group of guys, you don't even really have to aim or, you know, even pay attention to which direction you're going. You just keep hitting R2 and people start dying. And so they took out panic knifing from the game, and they put in this thing called Blade Dancer, and I don't remember what the name was that Call of Duty had for it, but essentially what it is the people in question will turn into like a juggernaut type character with 2 knives just going around slicing everybody up for one-hit kills. And there's essentially going to be a little to nothing you can do about it. Now, we don't know if it's going to be like Destiny, where it's just ridiculously difficult to kill somebody using it. Hopefully it's not like that, because that's just going to be really frustrating if there's, you know, a couple of people around you and some dude charges into a room and you're on a streak and he's got the Blade Dancer thing. Because I just foresee these special abilities creating a lot of frustration like they do in Destiny, where when a lot of people get them all at the same time, especially if they're as easy to get as they were in Destiny, which in a lot of ways, like all the pros were saying, oh, it takes a while to get them. It didn't really look like that to me. When I was watching the gameplays, it looked like they got that pretty quickly, and I had this feeling it's going to just be insane. You're going to have kill streaks up in the air that you're going to have to contend with, along with people, you know, blade dancing around everywhere, using crazy miniguns all the time, thunder guns that kill in one shot. You know, it's just one-shot pistols. The list is going to be pretty deep. And then there's a rapid-fire attachment for shotguns, as well as a rapid-fire attachment for sniper rifles. I mean, I don't know, you know, and I appreciate that Vonderhaar likes Destiny, but that's, in my opinion, one of the big problems with games today is everybody copies everybody. And sometimes the things they copy are things that should just remain in the other game. You know, Destiny doesn't have kill streaks, which is one of the reasons why, obviously, I suppose that the specialist abilities, the special abilities of each characters kind of work and make sense. But at the same time, they're still like probably the single most frustrating aspect of Destiny, because you don't actually have to earn them; they just happen, you know. And Call of Duty is already full of ways for people to get free kills, and now just to add another way that somebody's probably going to get a crazy free kill on you. I just foresee a lot of rage for myself and a lot of other people when you're on big streaks. You're, you know, about to get your first nuclear, or, you know, maybe it's only your second or third or whatever, but regardless, maybe it might even be your 25th, but you're just going to get killed off by some dude that has a one-shot pistol or is running around with 2 knives that can't be stopped, you know, and that's, I feel like there's definitely going to be a lot of chaos involved with that. But at the same time, I think too, just like this game and it's jumping, it's going to be one of those things that the people that learn to take advantage of it early and learn to use it well are going to be the people that are going to really do well in this game, you know. And I just don't know how to, I guess, explain my feelings on it. And hopefully when we get a hold of the game next week and we get to try this beta out, it turns out not to be as frustrating as people think it's going to be, you know. And I think, again, if it turns out to be another aspect of the game that just frustrates people, it's going to be, I don't know, you know, a lot of people talk about the game dying, but I imagine that if Treyarch does do something that really frustrates the entire community, that it may be the last straw for this game, and it may finally really spell the end of it as a popular franchise. And I feel like, you know, with everybody having asked for World at War and asked for Modern Warfare 2 remakes and you know, hundreds of thousands of people signing these things, that it should be pretty evident to the devs that it's just not what people want. You know, it's just people play this game because they want a simplistic, fun arcade shooter with a really ridiculously fast pace. And Call of Duty's always managed to maintain a really fast pace without ever having to have jumping, without ever having to have these crazy specialist abilities. And maybe, just maybe, they should try listening to what people are saying instead of just doing what they think is best and doing what they want to do, because obviously they don't know what's best. And I have to wonder a lot of times, do they even play their own game? Because the things that are frustrating, they bring back constantly. And if they do play their own game and they still bring these things back, maybe it's because they're noobs and they think to themselves, hey, I would like it if something like this was in the game. And I think they just find, I don't know, they mistake the mentalities of people and what they're really looking for a lot of times. And we'll have to see, again, really how these specialist abilities play out, but I think it's going to be the most frustrating aspect of this game. And I know that people have talked about how they've taken out a lot of this stuff, but they took out noob tubes, they took out panic knifing, but they put it in as special abilities. Just like they, you know, took out Last Stand for the last couple of CODs, but apparently one character has Last Stand. And, you know, so you're also going to have to contend with remembering what every single character doll looks like. And when you remember what that character doll looks like, you're going to have to memorize what all 18 of them do for you to be able to effectively prepare yourself in this game. And I feel like that's just way too much time spending on learning a game. That should just be a simple, you know, point and click, shoot and kill. And instead, you're actually going to have to learn what 18 of these different people look like, and what, I guess that would be 36 different abilities might be. Whether that person teleports, or shoots a thunder gun at you, or has a grenade launcher, or, you know, whether or not he has a robot arm minigun. Who knows what it may be, but you're going to have to be prepared for that and know exactly what it's going to have to, what you're going to have to do to adjust and prepare for whatever they're doing. And in essence, for you to really be able to stay alive very long in that game. Because you're going to have to know, like, if I start shooting at this guy, will he teleport back 3 seconds in the game and lob a C4 at me? Or, you know, will this woman suddenly pull out a crazy crossbow and, you know, one-shot me with an explosive crossbow and stick me to the wall. Maybe she will, maybe she won't. You know, and that, I think that's going to be the thing that's going to really allow people to do well, is the ability to remember that stuff. But at the same time, it's going to be one of the things that's really frustrating about the game, is having to remember it in the very first place. You know, having to sit there and learn what every single one of them does, so that when you're, you know, in a lobby with people and you look ahead of time, because I don't think you can change the characters. Like, I'm pretty sure that you have to pick a character, and the character is going to be the same character for every single equipment class, and that you have to change it before the game starts if you want to use a different character. I don't think it's like this game where every single class is a different kill streak setup. Potentially, I think it'll have to be every class has the same character, if I remember right. So at least if you're in a lobby and you look around and you see what characters people are using, and I definitely feel like there's going to be some preferred favorite ones. You know, with 18 different people to choose from, there's obviously going to be somebody that is better overall than someone else, or more useful overall than someone else. And there's definitely going to be like a novelty character, if you will, somebody that just really doesn't do anything that awesome, and you know, a lot of people just don't really use him or her. And I guess we'll just have to wait to see which ones those are going to be, which ones are going to be the really strong characters, which ones are going to be the less important characters that don't really matter as much. But I guess that concludes all I have to say. But I am really hyped for the beta, and I'm just curious, you know, what everybody thinks about this as well. I think it's one of the strangest things that they've done, you know, and I really think, again, Destiny already belongs to Activision. Why can't Destiny just stay in Destiny? You know, and maybe, again, I'm nervous about this for no reason, and it might turn out to be a really awesome game, and it might turn out to be a whole lot of fun. But I'm leaning more towards the side of it's just going to be pure chaos. There's going to be a lot of really frustrating things, but maybe I'm wrong, you know, and we'll just have to see. And hopefully I can get this nuclear before the game is over. This pretty much concludes the commentary, and I'm just, again, curious what you guys think about the beta and what you think about these specialist characters. Do you think that Treyarch will take them out of the game if it turns out to be something that people just really, really don't like? You know, because right now their pre-order numbers are really not that high. They're only at 465,000 for Xbox One, and they're only at 360,000 for PS4, which compared to Ghost, that had more than 2 million pre-orders overall across consoles, that's really not that much. And really, even Advanced Warfare have more pre-orders across consoles than this game does right now. And it definitely shows a sharp decline in the popularity of the game. That cannot be denied. And will they risk putting out a game that people complain about something beforehand? You know, I'm kind of curious. And there's a lot of crazy perks in the game as well, and I'm curious to see how they're going to treat that if the community reacts poorly to what they add in the game. But that concludes everything I have to say, guys. Like the video if you like the video, comment if you have something to share, and subscribe if you've never been here before, and I'll see you next. Damn it, bro! I'm going to get an 80 bomb before I go over. See, look at what I mean, though.